So today I'm going to be applying the fabric onto the journal cover that it's all assembled and ready to go. I'm going to be using Mod Podge, a piece of plastic to put down on the table, one of these disposable little foam brushes, a ruler, a pencil, scissors. I think that's about it. First thing I'm going to do is cut the fabric. So I lay out the fabric and then I lay out the book cover. And I always just eyeball. I rarely measure. I always just eyeball and trim the fabric about an inch, leaving about an inch border around. This time I'm going to use a ruler and a pencil for those of you, maybe this is your first time making a journal, or you're new here and want to follow along. And I thought it might be easier to show using a ruler instead of just freehanding and eyeballing things like I do. But if you want to, you can wash and iron your fabric. I've never seen the need to. All the wrinkles will smooth out when putting it onto the book cover. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this very first step. Doing a horizontally oriented journal is easy, but it has a couple challenges, and one of them is fitting it all into the video at the same time. But the fabric is trimmed up to where I need it to be. Now I'm going to put down some plastic and apply the Mod Podge. I do it in sections, and so let me speed this up and we'll get this attached. All right, so the fabric is applied to the outside of the book. The next thing I'm going to do is fold in the corners and bring in the sides. If you want to, I usually don't, but if you want to, you can trim this corner fabric a little shorter. I'll usually only do it if I have a really big, thick, bulky fabric, because with these 3 folds, your corner can get a little, I'm trying to lift this up and show, it can get a little bulky, but with these thin cotton fabrics, I don't feel the need to, and I like the look of a fully wrapped corner. So I'm not going to trim the corners any smaller. I'm just going to wrap up the cover, the inside cover, pull the fabric over and stick it down. All right, so the fabric is on our journal cover and it's beginning to look like a book. I really dig in this fabric. I think it's really beautiful and it's getting me excited to get going on the journal. But while I have the plastic and the Mod Podge and the brush out, I'm also going to use one of those pieces of fabric that I cut off there from doing the cover, and I'm also going to cover the spine while I have all the stuff out for it. And it's the same kind of deal, except we're only going to fold over top and bottom. We're going to leave side flaps, and I'll explain that in just a few minutes. All right, so the top and bottom fabrics are folded over for what's going to be the internal spine. This is what the pages, the groups of pages, are going to be sewn onto. And then after the pages are on it, it's going to be put inside the book. And so you'll want those little side flaps of fabric to cover the cardboard and the tape. And then you'll put a inside cover paper over all of this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to try not, I don't want to be confusing. So let me know if you have any questions. But we'll get to that later. The spine part's going to come later. So the book is all covered. And you can see there's no wrinkles. There's no need to iron the fabric. In most cases. So I'm going to set all this aside. I'll probably just let it dry. I probably won't have time to work on it until tomorrow. And then like the next step for me will probably be gathering a bunch of papers together to use for my pages. And again, because this is a horizontally oriented book, I'm going to have to glue some pages together for them to be long enough. But I'll go through all of that too. So I hope everybody has a really great day, and make your own journal with me. Take care.